Welcome back to Dirty Little Shifts, where I do full game breakdowns of the NHL's top defensemen in hopes of passing on my knowledge of defense to you so you can see the game a little bit deeper. Today we're looking at Rasmus Dahlin, the first overall pick from 2018, plays for Buffalo Sabres. He's 6'3", 204 pounds, and so far this season he has 20 points in 26 games, so quite a few points for a defenseman. 2 goals, 18 assists, so he's clearly offensively capable. He's currently minus 12, and I don't put much stock in plus minus, as you guys may know by now. And seeing as he's on the last place Buffalo Sabres, being minus 12 and playing 20 to 30 minutes, that's actually pretty good. So I'm excited to see him play. They are playing the Calgary Flames. They're on their West Coast road trip. When you're on a road trip, it's tough to stay in the rhythm and not get too tired being away from home for so long. And Calgary's currently on a little bit of a heater. I think they're on a 3 or 4 game winning streak. So going into Calgary against a hot team will be a difficult task for Buffalo. So I'm curious to see how it goes. From watching him before, I know he's a very solid defenseman, so I'm really excited to do this analysis. So let's check it out. But as always, stick around till the end where I will let you know my full summary of my thoughts on Dahlin. Let's do it. We'll cut to Dahlin's first kind of noteworthy shift of the game from an analysis perspective. And he does something a lot of young defensemen need to incorporate into their game more, and that's the subtle little fakes. If you watch good defensemen, they're constantly doing little shifts with their feet, little head fakes, and that buys them time to make the decision that they want to make. So Dahlin here off the face-off, he gets the puck and he has the forward pressuring out. And just doing this little fake shot makes this forward's feet stop moving. And in doing that, it buys him a little bit of time. He does a little wrap. And the one thing you can't see that he's doing is because he does the wrap, he moves to the middle of the ice. His D partner moves to the other side of the ice. His D partner, Samuelson, here does a great job. He's holding the blue line, stick out. He's not lunging and taking himself out of the play. And he's forcing Farabee here to make a play. So he's going to chip it, which is a good play. And look, Dahlin right on him. And he's holding the next blue line. As a defenseman, holding the gap, you're constantly trying to hold the lines. So you hold the offensive blue line safely, the red line, and then your defensive zone. And when you hold those lines, it creates opportunity for icing, offsides, just kind of forces the offensive players to do something they might not want to. Dahlin holds the zone. That's perfect. So another shift here, right off the draw for Dahlin. He uses what I call the seventh man, and that is the net. So he has a little pressure on him. Just that subtle fake to use the net. And again, he's doing another fake. Helps buy him time. Forward here, he can't get to Dahlin, so he has to peel off. And he loses either his skating momentum and stops or cuts back. And that buys Dahlin all this time. So now he has time to break out. And now he does something that he does really well. And it's something you should really practice as a defenseman. And that is he's able to stay square. See how he's staying square to the ice? So when you do that, that gives you this whole passing option. So anything up here, you have the option to hit the guy in the middle. And what he also does is he's able to twist and pass the puck, as you'll see here. So see how he does that? And in doing that, it kind of paralyzes this forward, because if he moved his entire body to face this way, the forward would know he's going there. So in keeping his feet square down the ice like this and being able to make that pass from his side just generates so many more passing lanes. He's got this one, he's got this one. So it's something young defensemen should practice as well. As I mentioned in earlier shifts, Dahlin is really good at using fakes, as most elite defensemen are. And in this shift example, he does a triple fake. So he's already doing a great job hinging for his defenseman. And there's a little chip in. And the first fake is he points to the other side of the ice. This already convinces some of the forecheckers that he's going to that side of the ice. Then we keep going, and the next fake is he looks to that side of the ice again. And the next fake is he does a little pass fake to that side of the ice. And all of this convinces the forechecker that he's going to the opposite side of the ice. And what does he do? He wraps up the boards. This shift here is textbook how you break out from your own zone as a defenseman. So we have Dahlin here. He's reading the play well. He's looking over his shoulder, as most good defensemen do. And he's drawing the forward to him, which is opening up space. He identifies the other forechecker here as taking away the D-to-D pass. And he knows he's on his backhand, so that's maybe not the best play. And he has the other forechecker here on him. So he reverses the flow, and now he identifies that he has 1, 2 forecheckers caught low, which is exactly what you want to do in breakouts. You want to draw the forecheckers to you, get them caught, beat them with a pass. Beating them with your skating is not the most efficient way. You can pass a puck a lot faster than you can skate. And then Dahlin makes a textbook breakout pass. We have 2 Calgary forecheckers caught low, and this leads to a nice breakout and actually a Buffalo goal. I think the goal ended up getting called back, but either way, that almost goal was a result of that beautiful breakout by Dahlin. So I haven't really covered gap control in this analysis yet, and I'm sure you guys are itching for it because we're well overdue, and you guys got it. So right now, Calgary's breaking out. Nice little breakout pass. Dahlin's D partner, Power, here is caught a little bit, which I think was a nice play. He was holding the zone, so he was doing a good job managing his gap. And right now, Dahlin has perfect gap. He is stick length away. He's not giving the forward anything. And sure, it is a 2-on-1, as you can see here, but just by having good gap on the forward is essentially instantly eliminating the 2-on-1. And he can just do a simple poke check, generate time and space for his D partner Power to even catch up, or he can stop it altogether. And that's exactly what he does. End of the 2-on-1, just from having good gap. So a lot of younger defensemen might see that 2-on-1, and these forwards don't have possession yet, so it's not a horrible idea to maintain that really tight gap. Dahlin has been having a really good game so far, in my opinion, but this little shift here, he kind of slips up, and it shows to me he is pretty offensive minded, which I don't necessarily think he needs to be as much. But here, he tries to join the rush when he shouldn't. Right off the hop there, I think you need to give your defense partner a bit of a better outlet. So either that's coming here or even just kind of boxing out the forward here, kind of getting on this side and giving him space for that wrap around the boards. So you just kind of like put your butt out, block the forward, give that lane so the forward can, or so the D partner can make the wrap. But he just kind of cuts up. And I think he's thinking this is going to be a perfect breakout, but it's not. So right here, Dahlin's thinking of joining the rush, clearly. And that's not the best idea when your forward is right here, his back is to the play, and he's on his backhand. That's a recipe for a turnover, or at least he's going to develop into a little scrum here. So as a D-man, you got to identify that and hang back. You can't be joining the rush until your player has clear possession and is looking up ice. So Dahlin goes, and now they're caught. They've got 3 forwards and basically 2 defenders. This turns into a little bit of a misplay and it turns into a goal. So in my opinion, that goal was Dahlin's fault. Simple as that. He should not have joined the rush. And you identify that by paying attention to your forward. Is it back to the play? Do they have full possession? Those are red lights for joining the rush. When I preach gap control, one of the ways to think it, and maybe it'll help younger defensemen, is by thinking of yourself as a predator. You want to act like a predator with your gap. You're constantly maintaining it. And if you watch Dahlin here, he is basically hunting. He is just tracking the puck. He's paying attention to these guys, and he's just a predator. He's like a shark out there. And he's ready. Look at him. He's right on this guy, but he's also ready to pounce on the puck. Kadri here has no chance. His back's to the play. The puck's coming at him quick. Dahlin's on it. Stick check. Doesn't lunge. And then transitions. And here he joins the rush. His team has full possession. At least to a goal. And that was just from him maintaining gap like a shark, basically. So this play here led to the 5th goal for Calgary, and in my opinion, sealed the game. And it's a bit controversial. Buffalo was pretty upset about it. And the question is, was this a trip? Or, you'll see, leads to the goal. Was it bad ice? You can see here, the next period, bad bounce by the puck. You can see Zucker's reaction here. You read his lips there, he says, this ice is effing terrible. You guys let me know. Trip, bad ice, or just Dahlin lost his balance. I've noticed throughout this game that Dahlin really likes to join the rush. Sometimes it's warranted, sometimes I don't understand why he does. The other part is he has such a big shot that I feel like he doesn't need to as much, or someone with not as good of a shot may need to join the rush more to generate offense. So I'll show you what I mean here when it's in my opinion, not warranted. They are down 2 goals in the third period, so I can understand a bit, but we'll let it run. And we have Dahlin right up here on the top. And then he does identify that one of his forwards is kind of up high and he jumps down. But the thing that I don't understand is there's so much congestion here. I don't know what he's expecting to do. I feel like he'd be way more effective kind of up at the point using his shot, but he goes for it. And you know what? He does identify a little bit of space and he does get inside here on Lomberg. So it's not a horrible play, but he needs to, in my opinion, just get out at this point. There are a lot of Calgary players down low, so it's not, again, not horrible, but I don't think he's as effective down low as he is up top with his big shot. Earlier, I showed you how Dahlin does a really good job at keeping his body square to the ice, allowing him to have a lot more passing options. This is applicable in every zone, and Dahlin does a great job here. He receives the pass, and when you're up in this area as a defenseman, you're kind of useless. So if you take a shot from here, there's a chance that it'll wrap around and break out for the other team. There's the pressure coming at the wall here, so there's not that many options. So Dahlin does a good job at first pulling it to the middle, and then see how his body is kind of pointing this way? That gives him this pass option, a shot option, and then he does a great job at twisting and utilizing this area too. So that is something he's really good at. And younger defensemen, I really encourage you to practice this a lot because it gives you so many more passing options, which allows you to be much more effective with the puck. And it's a dirty little play by him. So we have a little power play here. Buffalo's down by 2 with 2.5 minutes left. So at this point in the game, as a defenseman, you're willing to take a little bit more risk, push it a bit more at the blue line, you pinch a little more aggressive, especially on the power play with an empty net. You kind of have to take risks. Right off the start here, I want to show you how Dahlin is doing a great job at utilizing the zone. Don't want to creep down here because then this one forward is going to be guarding both of you very easily, right? So Dahlin does a good job. He hangs up here at the blue line. His feet are basically on the blue line, which is great. And now he receives the pass. And as I mentioned in the shift prior, if you're in this area, you can't do much. So you either, you take the pass here, you drag it to the middle, which then opens up this area, or a shot, and he takes the pass. And exactly, he moves over here. He wants to develop the umbrella, which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically this. Looks like an umbrella. Hope you enjoy my drawing skills. And now there's a lot more pass options. He takes the pass back, and because he's so high up here, he has to draw the forward to him. And in doing that, he knows there's a ton of space here. And also, a good thing, it shows his hockey IQ. He sees the box here, right? I'm on fire with my drawing skills. So he knows if he can beat this one guy, he's got tons of space. And that's exactly what he does. He gets Coleman to completely commit and lunge here. And now, look, he's just got all of this. And he walks in, nice low shot, hits a couple bodies, and you get a goal. That's what I was saying earlier. He's way more effective with his shot at the point than being down low. So good job there. So overall, I really like Dahlin's game. I think he tries to do a little too much with the rush sometimes. I think he's more effective when he keeps the game simple. And when he keeps the game simple, he is very effective. He's big, he's physical, he has a really good stick, his footwork is phenomenal, which allows him to keep a good gap, and he has a really big shot. So I think if he just combined that and joined the rush when he was 100% certain and maybe not pushing it as much, I think honestly you'd probably be the top 3 defensemen in the league, to me, in my opinion, because he's so sound defensively and he's physical. Throw in the fact that he has that big shot and good vision. I genuinely think he'd probably be top 3 defenseman. I got to see him more. This is just based on this one game, and I think Buffalo kind of had a rough start with all their penalties. I don't think I've ever seen so many tripping penalties in a game, by the way, but I think he's a very, very good defenseman. So that's it, guys. Let me know in the comments who you want me to analyze next. I do full game breakdowns of the NHL's top defensemen, hoping to pass on my knowledge of defense to you so you can see the game a little bit deeper. Hope you enjoy.